As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome back to Crunch Time Sports. Jeff Iafrate, Booner. Tuesday, April 7th. After an extended weekend off for the boys. What's up, Boone?
It's just on my end, it doesn't say we're live. Are we live?
It says we're live.
My stuff is just absolutely a disaster. It says on my end, it just says you're not live yet. It says go live.
Are we live? Are we live, chat?
Can people hear me?
It says live. It says someone in the chat will say we're live.
It just hit me and said you were live just now. I'm like 30 seconds behind.
All right, we are live. Extended weekend. We were off Friday. We were downtown for opening day. Had a ton of fun out there. Got to link up with a lot of our good friends over at Woodward Sports. If you got to go down there and hang out, a lot of people came up to us and showed love, so we appreciate it. Met up with our guy Eric and Kadyn out from It's Too Easy. So they're doing great stuff as well. So you can check out their newest vlog. The boys made an appearance in there. It was a lot of fun. And then yesterday we did our live stream for Michigan UConn. So we were live yesterday. So this is our first show back after everything that transpired this weekend. Tigers winning on Friday. I think they're playing right now as we speak. The Red Wings collapsing, and then the Pistons cutting Bobby Klintman. So you know what? Things are happening in the Detroit sports world, and we are back. So if you're watching, we appreciate you. Hit the like button on the stream as always, and make sure you subscribe. But we got a packed show today. It's Mock Draft Tuesday, not Monday, because we were off yesterday. And Peter Schrager, the best mock drafter on planet Earth, came out with his one of two. He only does 2 a year. One of his mock drafts today. We're gonna break down. But how you doing, Boone? You're coming off a national championship win. How are you feeling?
I feel absolutely amazing. I know this is what's happening right now is the world's trying to hold me back with this internet issues on a big day for me. I've had a great morning. I got to walk into work today, and, you know, you have all these non-Michigan fans, Michigan State people talking to you, and, you know, my only thought back to them was, listen, we're a high major D1, you're a mid major now. That's what this is. Like, we win national championships, you get to just play in the same sport. Like, that's how it rolls moving forward. And there's nothing you can do about it anymore. You can win all the Big Tens you want, you can win all the games you want, you can have the best recruiting classes you want. No one cares because we're on a completely different level than anyone else right now when it comes to college sports. Michigan is on Michigan here, everyone else here, Michigan State down here. Like, that's what it is. I know a lot of people are like, oh, like Michigan wins, they're still talking about state. Like, yeah, it is, because all I hear and all my mentions on my phone, on Twitter and comments and stuff on Instagram is all just Michigan State fans being like, you suck, you this, you that. Like, don't care. You're a mid-major, and we're actually winning national championships. So kudos to Michigan. Shout out to the boys. Dusty May, dude. I think he's moved up as it's like Dan Campbell and Dusty May for me all the time, dude. I love the guy, dude. He's so good. I love the fact today I was watching Rich Eisen. I saw it was like a 20-minute interview with him, Jeff, and Dusty just is like, I want to get back to work. He's like, how long did you sleep last night? And Dusty was like, an hour and a half. He's like, what? An hour and a half? He goes like, were you out celebrating? He was like, no, we had a little get together like with families and stuff at the ballroom, and then he was like, portal was open. It's back to work. And it's just like, that is like, we have a guy, dude. Like, we have a dude at Michigan, man, and he just wants to be great. And I was looking at the portal today, dude. There's just so many players. It's like, go to work, Dusty. Like, do what you got to do. We're ready to go. Come on now. But it was a good weekend, dude. I'll tell you what. Honestly, think about the weekend for Tigers opening day, Friday, Michigan Final Four Saturday, win by 40. And we had a good meal. We were at Art and Jake's. We had an unbelievable meal. Sunday, what happened Sunday? I don't even know what happened. What did I even do Sunday? I don't even know.
It was Easter.
Oh, Easter. I got to go see family that I didn't see for a while. Shout out. I went to my grandparents. Easter Sunday. Unbelievable. I ate 1 billion calories of food, a bunch of chocolate. And then yesterday, I became a 2-time national champion. It was like one of the greatest weekends I've had in a long time. So I'm glad to be back and doing a show. I'm fired up.
Yeah, it was a hell of a weekend. It really was. I mean, watching Michigan dominate Arizona and then going into, and by the way, shot the lights out in that game. And they did to UConn what they've done all year. They've just dominated the paint offensively and defensively, man. I mean, that performance they put out there, not from, obviously they couldn't shoot at all. I mean, they struggled shooting the ball. I don't know what their 3-point percentage was, but it was terrible. They hit some clutch threes late. Trey McKinney hit a big three to basically seal it at the end, but they couldn't buy a shot from downtown. But you know what they did? They did what they've been doing all year. And in the tournament, they actually were shooting the ball really well. I think they shot like 40% from three. But they won that game not shooting well from three, but dominating the paint offensively and defensively, blocking shots, even turnovers defensively. And then offensively, man, they just dominate. I mean, it's tough. I mean, they were built perfectly to take down a team like UConn. Like, they just had so much size. Even late in the game when they were struggling, they were getting out rebounded. They just found ways to win. And to your point about recruiting, like Dusty May just proved, I mean, their whole starting five was from the transfer portal. And they just won a national championship. It's like the guy.
I think the thing with Dusty too is like people are like, oh, in the transfer portal, but like Dusty was what at FAU and we took him to a Final Four, and that was like, I don't know when the portal stuff really got going, but obviously this is the first team that's won with all 5 transfers that started. So obviously you're still kind of getting into this portal era and people trying to figure it out. He took FAU to the Final Four, like kind of a little pre-portal era, right? So like I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, Dusty May's a portal merchant, like he's just going to pay people. Fun fact, Jeff, I don't know if you knew this. Michigan is outside the top 20 when it comes to paying players on their roster, like how much money they give to their roster. It was like 17 million or something. It's behind UConn. They're like 20. I don't know. I remember the exact number, so I don't want to say it's like 22 or 23 in the country for how much their roster cost. And at the end of the day, like people like are boosting like, oh, look at these recruiting classes. Like Dusty May's just a portal guy. Michigan has the number 2 class in 2026 recruiting. Multiple 5 stars, multiple 4 stars, 3-star, foreign guys. Like this guy does it all. And obviously it's not just him out there working. He just knows how to put a good staff together. He knows how to run a program at an elite level. He really does. And it's the same thing like with a Dan Hurley, dude. Like Dan Hurley just knows how to run a program, and then he knows how to coach basketball and get guys to get up. And a lot of people with the portal stuff, Jeff, I think the biggest takeaway from like this run and this year for Michigan is it's not like Elliot Cadeau is such a good storyline, because like Elliot Cadeau wasn't like the greatest player at UNC. Like UNC let him walk. They were like, we don't want Elliot Cadeau anymore. And Dusty May comes in as like, I'll take him and I'll turn him into something. And that's exactly what they did. And it's the same thing with Mara. It's the same thing with all these guys that he brought in, where it was like, hey, these are guys that can play, but some of them are like, they need to work on certain things. They need to work on their shooting. They need to work on kind of like developing. And they bring these guys in that have the skill and develop them and then turn them into what they did. Like these weren't the best players on the teams that transferred over.
No.
So it's he's picking the right players, but also too, like Dusty May and his staff can develop, and they have proven it over and over again. You saw last year, I can't remember who it was. I think it might've been Rich Eisen that brought it up, but like you look at, what's his name that went to Brooklyn? Danny Wolf. Like Danny Wolf comes over from Yale, and yeah, good player, but he was never going to be a first-round draft pick. What does Dusty May do? Turns that kid into a first-round draft pick. So then when you go out on the recruiting trail and you go out on the transfer portal, you could tell guys like Yaxel and be like, hey, look what I did with the guy like him. Look what I could turn players into. Like we can make you a first-round pick. You're a second-round pick, right? We can get you in the first. Oh, you're not in the draft yet? We can get you there. Just come in and trust us. And I just think that's sometimes a little like overlooking how good Dusty May is as a program as a whole. I wanted to ask you too, like, I heard a lot of conversation today about this. Like, I wonder where people are putting this team. Like, where do you put this team as like an all-time college basketball roster? Because they dominated so much all year long.
I think they're I wouldn't say they're. Here's the thing. I think when you look at this Michigan team, I wouldn't say they're an all-time talented roster. I think they're a very good collection of players. Very good. with an elite coach. Like, I don't think like there's going to be probably we looked at it yesterday, but they're projected to have like 2 or 3 first round picks. It's basically Yaxel flirting with the lottery, and then 2 other guys that might be late first round picks. I think it's more about the unity they played together. I think it's the team, how well they're coached and the chemistry they have. Like I give a lot of credit to Dusty May for basically pairing these guys together to form like a perfect unit. You know what I mean? I don't think it's about like individual talent. Where do they rank? When you look back in 5 years, how do these guys' pro careers turn out? Like, I don't even think it's that. I don't think they're an all-time talent team, which I think you got to give Dusty May a lot of credit, because it's basically what you said. I think you answered the question when you talk about these guys, where they were before they got to Michigan. They weren't bad players, but you look at like Mraz. Mraz was a freshman at Illinois, and he barely played. And then you look at guys like Mara coming out from UCLA, Yaxel from UAB, and he was a good player at UAB, but like these guys were developed at Michigan to be, so I think it's more about the collective unit and how well of a job Dusty did as a head coach. And I think to pitch to players, like even in the NIL era, to say like, hey, we can develop you and you could be a first round pick here, is going to help recruiting. Like, yeah, of course, Michigan has the resources and they can pay players. But at the end of the day, these guys want to get drafted. You want to make money in college, of course, but you want to get drafted. That's why guys go to Duke and UNC and these other programs, because at the end of the day, they know, like, I'm going to be drafted high. Like a Duke is one of the best at doing that. The brand, the freshmen that come in that are really good players. That's why they go to Duke at the end of the day. It's not like Duke's rattling off national championships recently. So on top of Michigan winning one, to your point, Dusty proved like, hey, we can develop you and turn you into a first round pick. And I think that's going to be one of the bigger selling points. But I think, based off that, I wouldn't say they're an all-time stacked roster. I just think it's a very good team led by a very, very, very good head coach.
I'll say this, maybe not dominant roster. But I think you can argue dominant roster. I'll say before roster, I think you can make an argument the roster that they had, because they had. I mean, you look at Maurice Johnson, Mara, and Yaxel, like those are 3 just dudes that are dogs. And then you even look at like a Trey McKinney coming off the bench, who probably starts on almost every team in the country. He's
going to be really good, by the way.
Right. And then you have, you have Roddy Gale, who's a starter on most teams in the country. You have Elliot Cadeau, who is dominant. And like you had LJ Kaysen. Like, this is my point with this, Jeff, is I would say this, I would have to argue they're a top 5 most dominant college basketball team. I wouldn't say maybe roster-wise, but I'm talking about most dominant team of all time. And I know that's crazy to say, but realistically, like, there have been some good college basketball teams. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Michigan guy. I'm saying this because if you watch this team, especially the last month in March, they are dominant. And it was like the Purdue head coach had mentioned it earlier in the year. They were like, hey, what about this Michigan team? Like, what are your thoughts on them after they played them? And he was like, I don't see this team losing more than 4 games. Like, there's no way. Like, he was like, this is one of the best teams I've ever seen. And then you have Dan Hurley coming out after being like, this is one of the best teams I've ever seen in basketball. And you're like, all right, wait a second. And then you start looking at the stats and everything. Like, dude, Jeff, they were like averaging 90 points a game.
I think they're the only team to score 90 like 5 times in the tournament.
In the tournament, dude. And they did with ease. And like, there was never a game in the tournament this year. And typically, even like number 1 overall seeds, like you saw this Florida lose, you saw Duke lose. Like, none of these teams like just dominate every win in the tournament. There was never a game in this tournament, including UConn, maybe down the stretch a little bit, where you were like genuinely like, oh no, can Michigan lose this game? They dominated. They were beating teams by 30. They beat Arizona by almost 30, who was supposed to be the second best team in the country. And it was like, to me, it was just one of the most dominant performances of all time. Player-wise, maybe not like roster, because you have that Kentucky team that had 8 dudes that could have gone to the first round. Like, but if you're talking about like dominant team of all time, I think you have to throw them. I think you can make an argument to throw them in the top 5. Just because you couldn't like look at the championship game yesterday, Jeff. They're without LJ Kaysen, who's their backup guard, one of their best backup guards in the country. Could probably, again, another player that probably could start on every team in the country. He's out for the year. And then your best player, Yaxel, is nowhere to be found. Like, he's hurt. And you still, like, there was no time in that game where you were like, oh, Michigan's going to lose this. They just dominated the whole game. So, yeah, I would have to say they're top 5 most. It was unbelievable run, dude. I'm so happy we got to enjoy that, and I'm already kind of looking forward to next year, to be honest. I hope Dusty figures out this roster, gets this thing going, and hopefully a lot of these guys end up staying and try and raise their draft stock next year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, at least the program with Dusty May, they're definitely not going anywhere. I mean, think of the amount of it's like usually teams are calling players a recruit. I bet there's agents with players that are like, hey, pitching themselves like, hey,
we want to come to Michigan.
Yeah, we want to come to for sure. After that,
I was looking at the portal today. It's insane. Some of the high level players that are in there, and I would have to think that Dusty May is going to have an opportunity at a lot of those guys.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. It's like what Steven said, 9 starters. I think who said that on Michigan? Someone just said that like last week. We have 9 starters.
Burnett,
it's which they're deep, man. They're deep. Like you said, they played bad. I mean, they didn't play a great game. UConn slowed the game down on purpose to try and limit them offensively, and they still even shooting, they missed 80-90% of their threes, and they still won the game by almost double digits. It was almost 10 points or whatever it was. 8 points, the thing they won. That's insane. So yeah, congrats to Michigan. I don't think they're going anywhere. So that'll be a fun team to cover. We'll get into some Lions because over the weekend we missed this. The Lions brought back a player that we've discussed before, and they are making another addition to their secondary. They brought back Avante Maddox to the roster. And I feels like we've been covering so many secondary players on this team. There's been coming back, free agent signings. You have Izzian, McCreary, Rock Ya-Sin coming back, Avante Maddox, and you look at that safety room and all the guys that have nickel versatility. Actually, Jeremy Reisman put out that, which by the way, I'm happy Avante Maddox. I think he's good depth. I'll say that. I think Avante Maddox, he's so in that Bears game, he had a pick on Caleb Williams. He's not some dominant nickel safety, but he's got versatility, and that's a guy that you probably want back. So I'm not mad at it at all. But actually, the question I have, and it's based off what Jeremy actually put out, and you're looking at the safety room. Here's Jeremy's tweet, and you look at the safety room here: Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Avante Maddox, Christian Izzian, Chuck Clark, Thomas Harper, Dan Jackson, and Lawrence Strickland. Okay, so we have the question marks. Brian Branch is not going to be there to start the season, assumingly so. I don't think he will be. Kirby Joseph has question marks, but we'll see. Maybe he can battle through and prove everyone wrong, but there's question marks at safety. Below those two guys, this looks like the room that's filling out here.
By the way, I'm so sorry, Jeff, to cut you off. I just got an alert on my phone. Oh, this is allegedly, I guess, but it's gotten put out on Twitter. Have you seen this Mike Vrabel stuff?
With Diana Rossini?
Whoa, what? This feels like breaking news. This feels like some of the biggest news in all of football. Is this real?
It's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It seemed like it was TMZ-esque. It was like a New York Times post they made. I don't know.
Oh, my Lord. What?
Tough look for Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel.
And Mike Vrabel, that's my guy.
Yeah, they're both married, so definitely a tough look for both of them. But
dude, I hope this is not real, man.
There was rumors that she did something with an executive
back in the day, though.
Yeah, to get information or something, and now she's with Mike Vrabel, which Mike Vrabel's, by the way, douchebag move on his part. If he is cheating on his wife, douchebag move.
They both are married.
I don't know. I don't know. It was just photos of them by the pool. I don't know.
No, there's photos of them holding hands and stuff.
Holding hands? Or
you
was
didn't?
It a hug?
Yeah, no, they're. I mean, this is hand holding.
Is there really? Hold on.
Right? Am I crazy? I'll share my screen. This is.
Hold on. Yeah, get this out of here. There you go.
That's. I mean.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, I mean
Mike.
yeah. Yeah, the
Mike,
owners, it's
man.
that owners meeting, man. It's the owners meeting stuff, I think, right? That's when that was. I
I mean,
believe.
you'd have to think, yeah, in Arizona.
Hey, not my head coach. Dan
I'm sorry, I
Campbell.
didn't mean to cut off our
Not my head
segment.
coach. Dan Campbell brings Holly Campbell with him down there.
Yep.
Guys, yay. Holly Campbell's in the hotel hanging out. So, not my head coach.
I find it hard to believe that's real. Like, not maybe that's a real, but that they're actually like doing something because like they're at the owners meeting. Like you would like, why everyone's there and you're just going to be doing that? Like, there's just no way.
It's a bad look for both of them. That's a bad look, especially like because like it's a bad look for both. But for Diana Rossini, who gets information, it's a really bad look because now it's like, how is it like, you know what I mean? Like what are we doing? It's like, how is this how you're getting all this? What's going on? If she puts out a Patriots report or something like that, people are going to be on her ass, dude, like with this Mike Vrabel stuff. So, yeah, we're TMZ now. That I did not see. I saw that earlier, and yeah,
I just popped up on my screen, and I went, "Oh my Lord, please no, not my God, Mike. I love Mike Vrabel."
By the way, how do you feel about this safety room?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest. Like, kind of call it what it is a little bit. I'm a little worried. Like, I think obviously your best two players, Brian Branch and Kirby. I think though there's like an asterisk next to it because you just don't know you don't know what Brian Branch is going to be like after post Achilles. I'm starting to get a better feeling from hearing. Obviously, like Dan and them are going to give out positive reinforcements in regards to Brian Branch, but Brad speaking with you guys and kind of bringing up the point, like, hey, I've seen other players bounce back at a high level like that, so I have more confidence. Brian Branch, the Kirby knee thing. Kirby's been more active recently. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm starting to get a Kirby vibe again, where when Kirby was like at his peak playing and before this injury, like he's out in the public, he's talking a lot, he's doing a lot. Like I like that Kirby, and it feels like I'm getting that. So I'm starting to get little positives from those two. And then I think after that, if I'm being honest with you, Jeff, I actually the safety room. I actually love the safety room in Detroit right now. I really do. Like, I've told you a million times this offseason that one of my things with the safety room is some like flexibility, versatility, having guys that can play every position and moving around. Avonte Maddox has done that. Christian Izien has done that. Chuck Clark, we know, can do that. Thomas Harper, Dan Jackson, Lawrence Strickland. And there's a couple guys on that corner list that we're going to look at here in a second that can also play, go in and play nickel. Maybe some of these guys might be able to move back. Like, I think the flexibility with a lot of these guys, I actually really love. Like, I'm a big fan of having like a Chuck Clark as like your third or fourth safety. I do think he's good. I know a lot of people are like, well, a couple years ago he got hurt. Chuck Clark was good last year. Not great, but he was a good role player for the Steelers last year. And I spoke with someone about the Steelers, and they said, yeah, no, like he's a solid safety, and good depth. I think the Christian Izien thing too. I think he's as well. And in the Avonte Maddox signing too, that's just a cherry on top, in my opinion, with that. And that's Jeff. That's not even bringing up the Thomas Harper too, because Thomas Harper was essentially a starter for you last year.
Yeah, well, these are the corners too. You got Arnold, Reed, McCreary, Yasin, Rakestraw, Dorsey, Whiteside, and then the safety room, which we just highlighted. So, yep. I mean, I actually don't mind it because you got to think like you're not going to have a bunch of star players that obviously in one room. So I understand that your stars are Kirby and Brian. So you need guys that can hold it down. And Thomas Harper to me showed last year he can come in the spot and play decent. So having a guy like Christian Izien, who has some experience, Maddox, who has some experience, Chuck Clark and Maddox have a lot more experience than Izien, but still guys that are vets mixed in with some youth, Dan Jackson, Strickland. If we're being real, half these guys are going to get cut. I mean, it's just how it goes. Even at corner, like this isn't the final roster, but you're going to find out quickly who's going to fill out the room. And I think they have enough depth. The only issue I have is really more so with outside corner. I'm not.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't love Arnold and Reed. McCreary's a nickel. Yasin is outside. Rakestraw, we don't know what he is. Dorsey, he's outside as well, and Whiteside's outside. So I don't feel great about outside corner right now. The only thing I'm pretty confident in is DJ Reed being back to what you saw at the beginning of last year. So I'm pretty confident in that. Again, the biggest question is Terran Arnold, because it kind of rides on him. If, depending on what happens, you don't really have a plan B. Well, your plan B is Rock Ya-Sin, which, again, solid depth, but is that someone that you probably want to start, a bunch of games? Probably not, So, I would, if we're going into the draft, I would still like them to take a safety based on BPA, and there's some really good safeties, but you could probably argue outside corner something the Lions should be looking at as well. At some point, not early on, but at some point, bringing in another outside corner.
I think they have the depth at outside corner, but I just think it's about the confidence level in the play at the end of the day. Like, I think DJ Reed can get back and be where, what we think he is. And I don't think he's the biggest worry, but I think it's more so just having the depth. Like Terrion, everyone's kind of like, all right, like, can Terrion, keep getting better? He hasn't really shown drastic improvement, and we just keep talking about what he can be and like his talent, but no, he hasn't really taken that step yet. And then the other guys that you have, Rock Ya-Sin, I feel like you've gotten more out of last year than you have with Terrion since he's been here. So you do have that, but I'm with you. I think like if I had to grade those two position groups, I would say like the safety room. Honestly, this maybe sound crazy. Let's say all healthy, right? Healthy safety room. Once if Kirby's back and Branch heals up, I would say that safety room, to be honest, is just an A. Like, I think that's a really, really good safety room. But then the corner room, I would have to give it like a C+ right now, B-, right in that range. I'm not as confident in the corners.
Yeah, I think like someone asked in the chat, Tampa Bay Lions fan club, who are our two starting safeties, Harper and somebody, assuming, let's say, Brian and Kirby, like hypothetically, they're not ready to go week 1. I don't know, for whatever reason, who would start? It'd probably be Thomas Harper and like Chuck Clark.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I think Kirby's going to be good to go week 1. So I don't think you have to worry about it.
But I think Thomas Harper's more of like a free safety. I don't know who would start in Brian's position. Maybe it would be Christian Izien or something.
Avonte Maddox, maybe.
Avonte Maddox has some of that. Because nickel, I didn't get to say this already. I like what they got at nickel. They're improved at nickel.
Like, nickel spot's beautiful, actually.
Yeah, like McCreary has upside, there. Izien can play there. They have guys that can play there. So nickel, I'm feeling good about. Outside corner, not so much. But because there's question marks with TA. But yeah, safety, I agree with you. I guess I'm actually more excited, to be honest, about Christian Izien. I want to see what he looks like, because I that's a player I haven't yet I don't really have an opinion on, because I haven't seen him play a lot of football, but there's a lot of good things being said about him. So I don't know. I don't. Now, this question here, or not question, but statement, Nick says DJ Reed has been productive for multiple seasons in a row before last season. He is learning a new coaching staff and then tore his hamstring. I think DJ Reed will be fine. Yeah. He was really good before he got injured. The only thing I would say with DJ Reed is he's really good as your number 2 corner. Okay. I don't think I want him being your number 1 corner. Because he showed in the past when he was playing really good. Like Nick mentioned, he was productive for multiple seasons in a row before last season. That was as a number 2 corner. So if you can get something, if TA is available and TA takes a massive jump, then you're in a really good spot. But if DJ Reed has to be your number 1 corner, not saying he can't handle it or he'll be terrible. It's not ideal. He's not the biggest guy. But that's where it gets a little more concerning. So I think a lot of it rides on TA's future, to be honest. That's where I'm at right now. Like, whatever happens with TA, that's where you're banking on him, no more stuff coming out. He's ready to go, and he'll be there week 1. And so far, we don't have a reason to believe he won't be. So, yeah, I'm with you though, Nick, on DJ Reed. Xavier, the defensive back room is fine if you can get a pass rush. Now, we didn't show the edge room. So look at it.
We don't need to do that right now. We're on this room right now. I do want to ask you, and I want to find this comment. Nick P did say, he said, I like Thomas Harper's game. When given opportunities, he plays well. Are you still on, like, you were on that kind of side of things with Thomas Harper after the season when we had this conversation, and you were pumping. We did the we did the whole ranking thing, like starter, potential starter, this, that. We did that for the defense at the end of the season. And you actually had Thomas Harper above Tyleik Williams, which was like, to me, that was shocking. And you were like, I think Thomas Harper's a starter. Are you still on that train that you think that he's a starting caliber safety in this league? Because if so, the safety room, if you're looking at the guys they did bring in, Roger McCreary, Chuck Clark, Thomas Harper, now that you have in that, or not now, but that you have in that room, you would have to be like, this is like the greatest safety room of all time when they're healthy.
Well, my point with Thomas Harper with Tyleik is I think Tyleik is going to be good. But when we were doing that list, we based it off what we saw last season. And what I saw is Thomas Harper step in as a starter. And listen, he's not Kirby or Bryant, obviously, but he wasn't terrible. Like he was your starting safety. He even had an interception at one point. Like he's not a bad player. And now Tyleik didn't show he could be a consistent starter, but maybe that changes this year. And I like Thomas Harper as, like, I think honestly out of all that safety players we just looked at, he's the only guy besides your starters, obviously, that I'm confident in that room that if there is an injury, he's going to start. You know what I mean? Like I mean, it depends on what safety room he's a part of that he'll start in the NFL. There's probably some rooms where he won't start over some players, but yeah, like I think he's better than anyone else they have. Like I don't like, I know Steve says he was Maddox popped more. I mean, Thomas Harper also had a bigger sample size though too. Like Avonte Maddox came in, I don't think a lot, but he came in that Bears game and had an interception. Like Thomas Harper played in like 12 games, dude. He played in a good amount of games because you got to think he was filling in for Kirby, and Kirby missed a majority of the season. And Thomas Harper had an interception, a forced fumble, 40 total tackles in 12 games, and had a couple pass deflections. He wasn't bad. He's 25 years old. So I think he's good depth. I do. I think he's good depth. And out of all the guys in the room, he's the one I'm the most confident with besides your starters. Like I am.
You should get a Thomas Harper jersey.
Yeah. I would go. By the way, like wasn't bad with the Raiders either. I don't know. He got waived and the Lions got a pretty good pickup there. Steven, $2. Appreciate it. He says, how about cornerback Tacario Davis? Or what a name.
Ephesians Pricesock.
Does that pass the name test? I think it does.
I would have to say that's an automatic pass.
I honestly, I have not watched a second of film from him.
I'm not familiar. From Washington. Oh, he's Washington too.
Yeah, they're both Washington.
I'm familiar with Tacario.
They're both big corners, by the way. Like
Tacario's a big outside corner, man. That's the only issue I think with him. I think the only issue with him, if I remember correctly, I think me and you actually talked about Tacario a couple times. I think he's a good outside corner. I think it's just more so like he's a big AG's Burner put in there, big, long, athletic guy. I think it's just more so. A guy with Tacario, I've drafted in our mocks. Once you get to that side, sometimes you slow down a little bit, and or especially with some NFL receivers, you get beat a little easier.
Yeah, Tacario. I mean, he was transfer from Arizona. He was pretty good with Arizona, and he was pretty good last year. But yeah, they're both big corners. They're both 6'4" guys. I don't know. I have this weird like. I don't. 6'4" is a big corner. That's a really big corner. The only 6'4" corner I can think of is Tariq Woolen. He's 6'4". But there are guys like if you're uber athletic at that size, there's definitely like if Tacario Davis could probably make it work. So Rich says if Mansour Delane falls to 17, Brad Holmes has to think about taking him there? ? I don't think he will fall to 17, but let's say in your scenario, Rich, he does. If you're going best player available, no question. You are thinking about it. Based off what Brad has said in the past. When we interviewed him, he was consistent. Best player available. You can't say Mansour Delane at 17 wouldn't be, if not the one of the best players available. So, yeah, I think that's fair. D-Ray says, wasn't if he's 6'4", he was, but look at he transitioned to safety. He wasn't a corner. So, yeah, if he was big. But they were blitzing
him. Melifonwu, man.
How do you feel about Mansour Delane if he fell to 17? You think Brad really thinks about it?
Yeah, I mean, if he fell to
he would
17,
solve your issue right away.
Instantly, of course, you would kind of look at it. Would I rather have maybe a different position group? Yeah. Is that BPA? Yeah. So you can't really be mad if that's BPA. Yeah. You know what I mean? And now you're sitting there with him, DJ Reed, and then let Terrion fight for a spot at that point, right? But Mansour Delane will come in right now and be your number one, in my opinion. Like he can be that good.
Did you see other report? I'm going to preface it because I try to be real with the audience here. Don't know how legitimate this is. I don't think it's legitimate at all.
I know what you're going to say. Don't think it's real.
Like you see that where
Joey
it's
Bosa?
like, yeah. I don't know. My biggest question, and by the way, for those who don't know, there's like bullcrap reports you see on Twitter and everything where it's like Lions have shown interest in Joey Bosa. I don't know where that comes from. I haven't seen it from anyone reputable, but let's just say hypothetically, it's real. All right. We're operating under the assumption that it's real. That'd be awesome, to go sign. I don't see a world where the Lions sign him. I don't. Based on how much I know you have to hype your own players up. Based on how much Brad Holmes really likes DJ Wanham and Dan Campbell likes DJ Wanham, I think they really see him as a potential starter. I don't see them going out and signing Joey Bosa. Like, I think they look at it like we have DJ Wanham. He's a capable starter. And then you go into the draft. And if you draft one, you draft one. I don't see because they could have easily, not that they could have poo-pooed on DJ Wanham, but they probably didn't have to hype him up. They love him. They love the guy. So I don't think you hype up DJ Wanham as a starter, talk about cap constraints, talk about how you don't have a lot of money to spend, and then you go sign Joey Bosa. I just don't think it makes any sense. So I don't think the report's real. Because it wouldn't make any sense based on what Brad Holmes has said and Dan Campbell. So it's a good pipe dream to have for Lions fans, but don't hold your breath because
hey, if it happens, I think it's a cherry on top. I think right now we're all at the spot. I don't know where you're at, Jeff, but I feel like I'm not gonna say I'm like I love the defensive roster right now, but I think I'm comfortable just being like, all right, we're rolling with what we have. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not in a spot where and maybe they add pieces, but I'm at the moment in my mind, I'm taking the approach of they're done right now. Like maybe they add a D tackle. I think if they add anything, it's a D tackle because they've let Roy Lopez and DJ Reader walk. So that's the only I would think they add a defensive tackle. Have they even added a D tackle in free agency?
Well, it's funny you say that. They just you're gonna like this one. They just had a visit. Actually, did you see that?
No.
They had a visit with a player. Aaron Wilson put it out, and it's not. Here's the report. Lions hosted Jay Tufele. Tufele
is crazy, bro. He just said Tufele.
I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he must be Samoan. But he is a defensive tackle. So he's a defensive tackle. He's a fourth-round pick in 2021. He's played in the NFL for 5 years, and he's played for 3 different teams. He has a half a sack in his career, and he's about 26 years old. So
he's got some crazy hair.
Yeah, I mean he
played 230 snaps last year, Jeff,
and ranked 94 out of 134 defensive linemen on PFF. So, not a Roy Lopez, I'll say that.
I'll ask you this though. Do you have PFF up right now?
Yes.
What was Roy Lopez in 2024? That's the question I think you need to ask. Because I think you need to look and say, all right, what was Roy Lopez pre-Detroit Lions? What was he in Arizona compared to Jay Tufele?
So he was 77 overall, but he was 34th in pass rush.
Okay. I can see a little difference here.
His run defense was really bad, which is ironic because he's a pretty good. Well, I guess not really because they were bad in run defense. But he was 77th. Jay is 94th, but he's 126th in pass rush. So he's mainly a run defender, right? Because he's almost dead last in pass rush. and he was 61st out of 134. And I'm gonna be honest, like it's not like you go back years ago, it's not like it's gotten better. So I don't know. I don't know much about the player. He's 6'3", 305 pounds. So it's more to me like you're adding a body in the room. He's basically like Steve said, he'd basically be your reader, your run stuffer. I mean, but
I would rather them just resign. I do have a really good feeling. I'll tell you this. DJ Reader, yeah, he visited with the Patriots, or who was it he visited with?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. He hasn't signed yet. I do have a feeling like, I don't know if you remember, DJ Reader spoke with someone this offseason, or he had a back and forth with someone, and he actually said that I think he made the comment that he would like to come back to Detroit.
That was Kay Adams.
That was okay. Yeah, he wanted to be back in Detroit. So I think DJ Reader, the fact he hasn't signed yet, I think maybe there's a world where, yeah, he's looking at his offers, and if he already got a better offer than in Detroit and he felt comfortable with that, Jeff, we know this game, right? Like, he would have signed already, right? He wouldn't be waiting. So obviously there's a world where they're like, connect the dots. They haven't signed a D tackle yet to replace either of those guys, and DJ Reader is still available. So I think there's a world where DJ Reader signs a 1-year deal here in Detroit, and he comes back for another year. And I'm a DJ Reader guy. Like, I know last year people were mad or going at DJ Reader a little bit. I think DJ Reader was perfectly fine last year. I don't think it was a DJ Reader issue with that D-line, because the year before he was essentially on his own, and they were stopping the run at a very high level with Noah Lee.
Well, the reality of it, people like the DJ Reader stuff, it's like, yeah, he's not getting any younger, but to be honest, he's one of the best. He's probably one of the best run defenders available, to be honest. Like, I mean, if you want to, your run defense was bad, but I mean, I wouldn't put it all on DJ Reader. He wasn't bad. He might not have been as good as he was 2 years ago, but I don't know. It must be a price issue for him. I don't know what he thinks he's worth versus what the Lions are willing to give him, but
yeah,
I mean,
he's probably maybe just waiting this thing out, seeing it around. I don't think.
Yeah, and they're probably also thinking Tyleik Williams is probably ready to, assumingly step in.
By the way, this is Steve Wiles. Reader's no better than this. DJ Reader is 100 times better than Jay Tufalele. I mean, what are we doing here? Don't disrespect DJ Reader. DJ Reader's overall grade last year was 30th out of all defensive tackles. 30th.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. You're talking about a guy that's ranked 30th. He was 21st in pass rush. DJ Reader was 36 in run defense. Like, DJ Reader is a good defensive tackle in this league. Like, let's not. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not with you on that. I'm not with you on that.
That's night and day difference. DJ Reader would be
Jay
a massive
is not
upgrade
better
to
than freaking DJ Reader.
No, dude, it's not even close. Again, like, people were mad at DJ Reader last year. I don't know why. Like, DJ Reader was not a bad player. DJ Reader was him and Roy Lopez were your guys last year. Like, it's shot. You know what's crazy to me too, Jeff?
The run defense sucked ass, probably.
But it wasn't on, in my opinion, like, it wasn't on DJ Reader. Like, what are we talking about? You're talking about like Lee McNeil, who's supposed to be your dude inside. He is not ranked 90th in 2025 in run defense and per PFF. DJ Reader is ranked 36. Double. Ali McNeil is the 90th highest defensive tackle total in 2025. 90th. And again, we don't go PF off grades to be like, oh, like, we know that there's.
Well, one guy's been on 3 different teams in 4 years. I mean,
but like, yeah, what are we talking about? Like, DJ Reader is still DJ Reader. He's a great player for you, especially if you're talking about that depth spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there. Meme says, Jeff, why do we have so many DJs on the roster? DJ Juan and DJ Reed. DJ Reed. On defense, too. It's a good question. I don't know. And
DJ Khaled. Okay.
It's a lot. There's a lot of DJs on the roster on defense. So and
they're not actually DJs.
Now, I want to get into this Daniel Jeremiah. By the way, Daniel Jeremiah, before we get into this, I got a lot of respect for Daniel Jeremiah. NFL Network, ESPN now. One of the best in the business.
Forgot about that move.
Yeah, one of the best in the business. He probably, I mean, there's a couple guys like Daniel Jeremiah is probably my favorite draft analyst. I think he's very detailed with his breakdowns and a lot of the information he gets. I wouldn't say it's like Peter Schrager, but I would trust some things he says. I mean, I think Daniel Jeremiah is pretty well connected. He's a former scout. He's been on 2 different podcasts, Peter Schrager's podcast and Mina Kimes' podcast. And he said the same thing about Kaden Proctor from Alabama. He will not make it past the Detroit Lions. He said that twice. Well, in different phrased. He's phrased it differently. The first one, I'll play the clips. But he's connecting Kaden Proctor to the Detroit Lions. That's basically what it is. So here's the first one here. I'm going to play it. It's not a long clip. I'll play both from kind of back to back. But the first one's from Peter Schrager's podcast, and the second one is from Mina Kimes. So let's hear what he said on Peter Schrager's, and then we'll go to Mina Kimes, and then we'll give our thoughts on it. Here he is on the Schrager Hour.
Where you're doing these exercises going forward. Proctor, that is the absolute floor. He will not get by the Detroit Lions.
There's the first time he said it. Then he went on Mina Kimes' podcast and he talked more about it. Here he is there.
But you
just kick
well, yeah,
Sewell
they're
to left.
basically, that sounds like they're in the process of doing the Sewell thing. So
Yeah, I was told they love Proctor. By the way,
that makes sense.
There's two.
Hey, can I just say one thing?
2 different ones, man.
Can I just say one thing to you, Jeff, and to all the people in our chat? Detroit Lions fans, NFL fans, but mostly I'm just talking to Detroit Lions fans. Get ready to learn some Kaden Proctor. Come on, boys. I know you hate it, Jeff, but I love it because Kaden Proctor, I'll tell you what, I don't care who these Alabama guys. No. Go watch Kaden Proctor. He's going to be able to play instantly in the NFL. He is a plug-and-play offensive tackle in the NFL. And whether you want to move Penei or keep him there, you can get Kaden Proctor to play either side, and you can let him roll. He plays left tackle, yes, but just like you did with Penei, throw him to the right side. This is one of the Jeff. I'm telling you, and I want you to keep remembering this. Kaden Proctor is one of those players, and you know that there's these players every year in the draft, Jeff. You know this, where people just this black cloud just goes over a certain player, and everyone just says, "Oh, he sucks. He's terrible. He's so bad. He's not going to be good. He's overweight. He's this," and they just hear that. And they never actually go watch him, never actually go look at stats, never go look at grades, never go look at anything. Nothing. They just hear people say it, and they go, he's so bad. I don't want him on my team. It's a black cloud. Every year there's these guys. Kaden Proctor's not a bad football player. I'm telling you this right now. He's not. Go watch. I've watched.
I have. I think he's talented.
He's a dog, dude. He's a guy you want on your roster. I don't know why people are like, oh.
But he's not. I'm not going to say he's a bad player, but there's reasons why they're talking about him moving to guard. There is reasons why they're talking about that, though. There is. And I know it's not even about the weight. Like, okay, he's 350, he's losing weight. It's like, okay, that could be something. Okay, the weight management, I get that. But it's like, okay, why are they talking about him moving to guard? Is that a fair? Like, why is that?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair, and I think it's more.
He just struggles to move. I think
it's more so the mobility of it, right? It's the mobility. But in my mind, I would tell you this. In my mind, like, yes, you draft a tackle to be a tackle. There are a lot of offensive linemen and tackles in this class, especially in the first round, where potentially are going to end up being guards. Right? Am I correct? There are a lot.
Most likely. Probably he is.
But what's so wrong about that? We talk about Vega, right? Like, yeah, what I love Vega, like if he's BPA, yes, I would like your left guard for the future. If you get Proctor and you move him to guard, okay, you have your left guard of the future, right? And yeah, I know a lot of people want their tackle, but what's bad? We're okay with Vega, but you're not okay with Kaden Proctor, who could be who has played left tackle for 3 straight years and started, but potentially could go into guard and be really good at guard in the league. Like, you're talking about a guy with some versatility where it's like, okay, maybe it's not the versatility where it's like, hey, he could do both of it. Like, it's, hey, yeah. But, and by the way, Tampa said 366. He's lost weight. He's 350 now. It's still going down. Like, he's trying to get mobile.
I would say if you're taking here, I'll give you the devil's advocate to my argument. I would say, well, Mekhi Becton. Remember Mekhi Becton? He was a left tackle. He sucked and with the Jets, moved to guard with the Eagles and was really good. There are times where that works. But if you're asking me, like, okay, you take Proctor, worst case, he's your starting guard. Right. I would rather have someone who can just play guard already, like Vega.
Like Vega, which, okay, if that's your argument,
concerns with him.
If that's your argument, I'm completely fine with it. It's just the people who, for me, Jeff, that I push back with Kaden Proctor, who are like, he's going to be trash. Like, no, that's just not true. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these people in the chat, like, oh, he's terrible. He's not good. I've watched the film. He's not. No, you haven't. Because if you watch and Jeff, you know this. You've watched Kaden Proctor film. If you watch him play football, he's a good football player. Like, yeah, is he slow sometimes? But if you move him to guard, he's going to be he's a dog, dude. He's a dog. We know this.
He's a dog. I'll tell you what. He's a very good run blocker. I think him against the run, he's no question. He's down. He's a big dude in space.
He's massive, dude. He's massive.
Pass protection. There's times where there's some lapses. I think that's just part of how big he is and stuff. But
I just think he's a good plug and play guy, and I would not be mad if you take him. Someone in the chat as well said Max Iaccior. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Iaccior.
Yeah, we've talked about him. I think it's more so that would be like if you trade back pick. Like if I'm sitting at 17 and Vega's there or Max is there, I would just go Vega at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would take Vega over, like, if that's a scenario, because I've already said Max, and I've said this, like, Lions fans are done with projects, but now they want Max. It's like, and I think he can be a good player, but I'm not taking that risk from the Lions. We can't, guys, we got to be consistent with that too. Like, I think Max is very talented, but he's still, at the end of the day, he is a project. Like, I'm not saying he's as much of a project as Giovanni Manu. Clearly, he's more technically sound, but I'm not with that. I'm not with taking projects. I'm just not. I'd rather have Blake Miller if you trade back, and I'm not a huge Blake Miller fan. So if you're telling me stay put and take a player, and you got all these guys, and it's Proctor and Max and Blake and Vega, I'm taking Vega. It's not even a question. You know what? And we've been talking a lot about this scenario for weeks. I'm seeing everyone on Twitter talk about it now. Like, get comfortable with Vega because your offensive line, he can slide right into your left guard spot, and you trust me, we've been talking about it. I'm with everybody on that. I don't think Vega would be a bad idea at all.
I like the Vega option, dude. I think it's more so the BPA at your offensive line at 17, where it just bolstered that thing up, dude. Best player available when it comes to the O-line. I do think, like, there's a lot of people who think Vega is going to be the best, could potentially be the best offensive lineman in this class. So if you get that, I don't know why people would be upset about that pick.
Yeah. We've been big. We're big Vega guys. So let's get to Peter. So Peter Schrager is one of the best in the business. Okay. He is one of the most accurate mock drafters out there. If you go back, if you follow mock drafts and you look at Peter Schrager, only comes out with 2. He comes out with one now and then one like a week before the draft. He is very connected in the NFL. So his mocks are basically based on what he's hearing. Now, does he get them all right? No, but he gets a lot of them right. So he has his first ever mock draft that was released today, and we're going to go through it and look at it because it's worth looking at. So Peter Schrager from ESPN, it's on ESPN right now, and we'll go through. So after 1, the draft starts after 1. So we'll just move on. David Bailey goes to the Jets, and he even puts here it'll either be Bailey or Reese. Okay, we got to know that. Reese actually would go 3 in this scenario. So
just want it on record too, David Bailey. We've been saying this since.
And it's the first time I've also seen the Cardinals take a defensive player. I've seen Maui Noah every freaking mock draft. So
yeah, who did they take? Who was it last year? The year before they took the Cardinals? That edge,
DeMarcus
from Detroit,
Robinson.
Actually. Yeah, from Detroit. Yeah, out of Mizzou. That's what it was, I think.
Was it DeMarcus? Darius Robinson.
Darius Robinson.
That's a receiver, I believe. Yeah, Darius Robinson out of Missouri. Who actually?
By the way, David Bailey, best defensive player in this class.
Yeah, he's the best pass rusher. I mean, I'm not taking Arvell Reese. I like Arvell Reese, but I've already talked to you about that stuff with Arvell Reese.
I saw some more videos of Arvell today, by the way, Jeff. If we're talking bend.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, what
I
are
saw
we
another
doing?
one today. It was tough. I mean, he's not
Like,
getting
he
best.
might be like he's an off ball linebacker, and people are like, he's just gonna play edge. Like, are we sure? Like, are we sure he's just gonna play edge and be dominant? Like,
I'm interested. Also, too, by the way, I before we move on, hold on a sec. I want to go find this. I meant to bring this up a second ago in our chat. Who was it? Someone. If you're there, oh, here we go. Tampa Bay Lions fan club. What a weird name. Booner, are you advocating for Larry Borum? LOL. I just want this on record, Jeff. I'm sorry before we move on. No. You just shut up over there and drink your DC. All right, Jeff. I'm not advocating for Larry Borum as our right tackle. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to go BPA truly, if Vega's there at guard, if Kaden Proctor is good enough to play, and you're like, hey, he's better at guard, I'm not going to be mad, and I'm going to say, all right, we're going to figure out this right tackle spot next year. And you'll figure out this thing with Larry Borum, or if you want to get Miles Frazier at tackle, whatever you want to do, you figure it out. But I'm not just going to be like, have to have a tackle, like even if I don't like a tackle, if I'm not a big Blake Miller fan, or I'm not a big Max fan, or which I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm just saying if they're not and they're not comfortable with that, I'm not going to sit here and bang the table and be like, oh, they're going with Larry Borum next year. Because like
you're
he
forcing
can start.
You're forcing a need when you don't think he's the best player, which I'm with you on that.
Like in my mind, you have potentially left tackle, all pro left tackle, and Panay now if he moves. If you get Vega, that's a future all pro guard, left guard. You have Cade Mays, potentially, if he keeps growing the way he has, Pro Bowler at center, if he keeps growing again, a future, in my opinion, all pro at right guard. And then you're just sitting there with one more offense. You just upgrade your offensive line to one of the best in the league. And you're just sitting there going, all right, we just need to figure out right tackle now. We're good. Like you can have the best offensive line in the league with one position kind of, all right, can we hide this guy? You could do that. So no, I'm not advocating for it. I wouldn't care if that ends up being the situation though, as long as you upgrade left guard, right? As long as that happens.
It's like what AG, this is a great point. This is why I love Daniel Jeremiah. AG's Burner says, Daniel Jeremiah said something yesterday I loved. Ozzie Newsome used to say, you don't need to hit home runs. You just need to always hit doubles off the wall. Like every pick doesn't have to be like Vega. At the worst case, he's going to be a very, very good potential all pro, but let's just say he isn't an all pro, just a very good starter for you for a long time. Like that to me,
you'll never have an issue.
Yeah. No question. He's like surefire. He's not going to be a bust. He's just not. There's 0% chance. Okay. And I'm confident saying that. So, yeah. Anyway, 4, Jeremiah Love. 5, Francis Maui Noah at offensive tackle, Miami to the Giants.
It's a huge pick for them. It really is.
Yeah. They'd have Andrew Thomas and Francis at right tackle. So that's pretty nasty. Talking about the offensive line, by the way. Did you see Dexter Lawrence requested a trade as well?
Yeah, that was actually that was actually kind of shocking, to be honest, because they have such a good defense. I don't know why he's like, I want out.
Because of contract stuff, I think.
Are they asking him to take less? Like, I don't understand.
Well, he's
he wants an extension.
Yeah, I think he wants an extension.
Man, not sexy Dexy, man.
I think that is what it is. He had 2 years remaining and on his contract. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it isn't money, but whatever. He wants a bag. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, he's a really good player.
And he's getting to that point too. It's like I'm not going to say it's his last bag.
He's making $18 million a year. Like, dude,
when you're a vet, dude, you get paid as many times as you can.
Yeah, he's making basically 18 or 20 or something like that. Like, dude, he's worth. I mean, Lee McNeil's making 27.
I was about to say, so you're telling me Lee McNeil makes more than
yes,
sexy Dexy? That's what you're saying. I feel weird calling him that. That's just not right, is it? It's not right.
6, Spencer Fano, offensive tackle / guard, Utah.
At 6 is crazy.
Yeah, I love Spencer Fano. I think he's going to be the best offensive lineman in the class. I think it's him or Francis. I'd probably, if I had to take one and you told me just blink and take, I'd taken Spencer. I'm taking Spencer. I love Spencer Fano. Yeah,
I can't take out of my brain the him being like, I want to be Penei Sewell. Like that is engraved in my brain right now.
I just think he's like Vega. Like what I meant is tackle, by the way, because Vega is like him, and Vega is one of the best offensive lineman prospects. But tackle, I'm taking Fano. Worst case, okay, he plays guard, but I don't think he will. I think he can play tackle. I really do. And yeah, he's just a guy. He checks all the boxes. So yeah, I love Spencer Fano. 7, Sonny Styles to the Commanders. 8, Ruben Bain to the New Orleans Saints. By the way, I heard Todd McShay say there hasn't been an edge in like 20 or 30 years that has had double-digit sacks with his arm length.
So maybe Ruben Bain's an outlier then, because
he would be the outlier. But he also said, like, but you watch the tape. It's like the guy's so good. It's just, I don't know.
You see those videos too of the bend? Like, it's
he's a freak. He's a freak, man.
That's a good pick for the Saints, by the way. And they don't even have to, at that point, you get Ruben Bain, you just let Cam Jordan and be like, hey, go get your money somewhere else. Then Cam comes and signs in Detroit.
Yep. Well, Jordan Tyson goes to the Chiefs. Honestly, I think they should go Delane, Mansour Delane. That's my opinion. But Jordan Tyson, another wide receiver, that's fine.
I would say this real quick with the Chiefs. I don't understand. People keep mocking receivers to them. I don't understand why.
I don't know either.
They have so many weapons already, and I don't really think like they weren't bad because I don't think it wasn't hey, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have weapons. I think it was more so like one, he didn't have as much protection as he had as in the past, but then also like there were, they just lost their top 2 corners on defense.
You're telling me you're going to have, because Rashee Rice is back, right? Like he's not.
Yeah, he's back. That's what I'm saying. They have Rashee, you have Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. Like you have 1, 2, and 3. Maybe I haven't watched that much Kansas City, and I'm just looking at the names and going, hey, they're good. So maybe there's people who are.
But look at their cornerback room, dude. They got nobody in the secondary.
They just lost their top 2 corners to the Rams
and a safety. They lost a safety as well. So yeah, they should. I would draft a lane. So, but yeah, that's anyway. He goes next to the Bengals. Great pick by them. 11, Carnell Tate. That's the farthest I've seen him drop to 11. 12, Dallas Cowboys get Caleb Downs. So
that's a disaster of a situation if they get him.
It's a Cowboys pick. They just
it is. It's a great pick. That's a Jerry Jones pick.
13, Mekhi Lemon. I've seen that more and more.
Stephen Jones pick, by the way. Drinking a Starbucks.
Yeah,
give me Caleb Downs.
Mekhi Lemon to the Rams. It makes sense. I mean, Devontae Adams, he's not getting any younger. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense there. 14, Kenyon Sadiq. I hate it. Okay, there you go. Kenyon Sadiq.
Why?
To the Ravens. I hate it.
I mean, you're a tight end first round. You don't do that.
Not unless there's outliers. I don't think Sadiq's the outlier. I think they're drafting him based on the measurements. I mean, you can't tell me a tight end who had 400 yards is worth the top 14 pick. Like he's not Brock Bowers or freaking Tyler Warren or like I'm not taking. I
disagree. I think Kenyon Sadiq's going to be good in the NFL. I don't think it's always stats and especially in college. Like you're like, oh, he didn't put all these stats up, not top 15. I think it's more like, hey, like what's this guy's skill set look like? What's his size? Like you could turn Kenyon Sadiq,
the athletic 4.
And I think Kenyon Sadiq will get there.
Yeah, but I think even from a position standpoint, like the Ravens defense is ass. And like I just why are we going tight end? It's like I don't know. It's just like why are we going tight end this high? I mean, it's just like
but they just don't have like I just don't think at that position they just lost Isaiah Likely to the Giants, which that was their guy.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, but Mark, I think they actually did just pay Mark like a 3-year deal. I'm pretty sure.
And they can draft like a Dalton out of Utah or like, one of these other tight ends in middle of the draft and just like, why? I don't get it. Whatever.
Yeah, but again, Kenyon Sadiq's going to be 5 times better than those guys. So if you're looking to upgrade that position or keep that position as good as Mark Andrews, this is probably the only way to do it.
And then at 15, Jamad McCoy to the Buccaneers. They draft a corner, Jamad McCoy. 16, again, Omar Cooper Jr. And
wow.
Peter writes here, every GM I speak to seems to love Cooper. So maybe.
By the way, too, like into some context here with Peter Schrager, he does the 2 mock drafts every year. Peter Schrager knows probably the most out of a lot. Like obviously Shefty and them know a lot. I think Schrager might know more than a lot of these guys. Like he's so in tune with like scouts, coaches, players, agents, like everything. That's why I think like Schrager is always every year the most accurate when it comes to these mock drafts. I think he's always like number one. The reason is because he knows so many people. He is making these mocks based off of, hey, GMs I speak with. This is what I'm hearing. He goes off hearsay, and that's why I think Schrager's so spot on. If Schrager's saying Omar Cooper's going top 20, Jeff, I would have to say Omar Cooper's going top 20. Like I would put it. I can look here on FanDuel and see where he's at. I would put a bet on Omar Cooper to go top 20. I don't know what his over-under is. I would bet on that.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
I don't hate it.
I think you can.
Yeah, he's going to go high in the draft for his early projection. He was like a second-round guy. So to go in top 20 is with no football being played. It's just GMs are watching film, and now everyone's realizing he's a good player. So, yeah. And then for the Lions pick, Vega, the offensive guard out of Penn State. He writes here, I'm not sure there's a more Dan Campbell player in this draft. He's 6'4", 320, plays with a mean streak. Ione did not give up a single sack and was an All-American last season at Penn State. Nice fit on the interior for the Detroit line.
Bud, come here and sit on my lap.
This right here, great work, Peter Schrager.
I love it, dude. I love this. I'm all in on it.
I mean, it's like, but here's the thing. Let me ask you this. Guess who's available?
Monroe Freeling. Okay, dude, okay. This is where I think like Lions fans, it's like it's an uncomfortable conversation. It's the same thing if Mansour Delane falls. It's what Brad Holmes has done for the last 3 or 4 years drafting, and the reason he's gotten the roster he does is because, hey, Jeff, guess what? Breaking news. Ready for this? Brad Holmes drafted BPA. He doesn't look at openings on the roster. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, let's get a tackle, first round tackle. Yeah, is there a really high chance that they do that? 100%. There's like a 70% chance because of the tackles in this class and where you're sitting. Again, Brad Holmes, BPA. Who's better, Vega, Monroe Freeling? There's talks that Vega could be the best off. I'll say it every day until the draft comes. Could be the best offensive lineman in this draft class, guard, tackle, whatever it is. If they look at him and go, this is the best player on the board right now, I think you pull the trigger. Yeah, would I have loved Monroe Freeling? 100%. If I was in that draft team, I probably would have thrown Monroe Freeling in my draft, and I would have picked him. But if he goes Vega, that left guard, you're good for 10 years.
I think, and I've been consistent with the Vegas stuff. Like, I think he's one of the best offensive linemen. So, and this is a BPA pick, and this is where people need to get comfortable. Where it's like when we criticize Brad Holmes. This is where my gripe has been with Brad. It's not that BPA is a bad philosophy. Obviously, he's drafted a ton of good players. It's a smart philosophy. I think there's times where people not saying we know more than Brad. But there's some players where you're like, man, that wasn't the best player there, and he plays an edge or he plays this position. Like, I would have thought he'd be the best player. And then, there's question marks because I like that Brad does that. You're trying to find great players. You're not trying to force needs because, like Brad says, if you're forcing needs, then you're drafting a player because he plays a certain position. So in this case, I would ask the chat, do you believe Vega will have a better pro career than Monroe Freeling? And I would say yes. I don't think Monroe Freeling will be a bad player. I think he's going to be a good player. But I think Vega has he's a better player right now and can be an even better player in the NFL. So with this pick, I understand it. I understand it. People are like, what about tackle? What about tackle? You're forcing a need and sacrificing a player. Like, hey, we're going to take a worse player because he's a left tackle. I don't think you should operate like that. Like, as a GM, we tell Brad, what's the pressure on Brad this year, right? You got to hit draft picks. You got to nail draft picks. So now we're going to make him take a player because he plays a position? And then you're going to criticize him when it doesn't work out? No, draft good players, man. Like, of course, you want an edge or a tackle at some point. And there are, I think, and you would agree, it's going to line up that way with some picks where there's some good edges at 50 and et cetera. But at 17, it's like Vega's the best player available. He just is, man.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, too. Like we have been complaining. You do, yeah. Left guard. That I know. You already have some guys there. Christian Mahogany, Miles Frazier. Again, at that point, if you get Vega and Vega's your left guard, all right, hey, why not let Miles Frazier go compete for a tackle? He can move around. Now, Christian Mahogany, I don't know. At that point, do you trade him? What do you do with him? I don't know. But you have a starting left guard of the future, like a future potential All-Pro Pro Bowler. Why would you pass on him? And if you feel like it's a more solidified than a Monroe Freeling, who, again, I think Monroe Freeling could be like the ceiling is there for Monroe Freeling. It's like, can he get there? Because he hasn't started. What did he start? 18 games?
Like 18.
Something like that in his whole college career. So there's still that question mark. So it's like, hey, who's the safer BPA pick? It's probably Vega, as much as you would love to tackle. But you get back to that point of the last couple of years, like Brad's messed up the last 2 drafts. He's struggled. Why has he struggled, Jeff? Like that corner draft with Terrion Arnold. Why did he do that? He even said it when you talked to Brad a couple weeks ago. He even said, like, it just so happened that we had holes at corner, so we went back-to-back corner, and we liked the 2 guys. No, there was definitely on your mind a little bit, hey, we have holes at corner. If there's an opportunity to get a corner, we're going to do it. You can't tell me that like a Terrion, and even in the second round, Ennis Rakestraw was your BPA. That's just not true. It's not. You know that they went into that draft thinking in the back of their head, we do need corners. If we have an opportunity, we're going to do it. I don't want that anymore. Like, I want Brad from 2023, 2022. Like that 2023 class, dude, let's call a spade. Like, again, they didn't need a linebacker. What did? They draft Jack Campbell. They technically didn't need a running back when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, did they? No, you had at that time, you haven't traded DeAndre Swift yet. You could have had Jamal Williams. They were about to get David Montgomery. Like, they didn't really need it. But what did they do? BPA, man. Jahmyr's one of the best players in this draft class. We're going to end up with him. So it's just one of those things where you understand, like, hey, Brad, if we're going to ask for him to get back to what he did in 23, 22, 21, you have to have the expectation of he might pass up on a tackle and just go BPA. Like, it's that Mansour Delane thing too.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not like you don't need a left guard. I mean, okay, Miles Frazier, we don't know what he is. Mahogany, we don't know what he is. It's like you have a bunch of question marks. And if you're going to go into the season with question marks and hope that those guys improve, well, then you're sitting in a position where, you're week 5, week 7, week 9. You're like, shit, we have a big hole at left guard now. No, if you can draft a guy who's better than those guys and he can solidify that guard spot, you just figure it out. Like, I don't know Mahogany. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I mean, trade you? Your backup? I don't know. You need to get someone that can solidify that spot. And I think Vega does that for a while. I mean, he's you get him for 5 years on that rookie deal, and he would be him, Sewell, like you said, Mays, Ratledge, like those 4, bang, you're good. You're good.
By the way, like I go like, who was that GM? Recently, I think we were at the combine and he was speaking and we were listening. Man, I can't remember who it was. We were speaking to a GM and he was like basically saying, he was just basically saying, like, my job isn't to draft, for potential. I don't even know how he brought it up, but he essentially was just saying, like, my job is to draft for Hall of Famers. Like, every time I draft a player, whether it's the 1st round, the 6th round, 7th round, 5th, whatever it is, he was like, I'm drafting to draft a Hall of Famer. Like, he's like, I'm not drafting for a need. I'm not drafting for this. He was like, every time I put a pick in, it's because in my mind, I want him to be a Hall of Famer. And I can't remember what GM that was, but that's the kind of the mindset that Brad had his first 3 drafts here, where it was just like, I just want to draft the best player, man. Like, this guy could be a Hall of Famer. It's like when he drafted Amon-Ra, in the 3rd or 4th round, or he drafted Kirby in the same, like around the same time. It's just like, hey, I'm just drafting dudes I know can play ball. And there are GMs, dude, who do go basically by need, and I don't know if that's the right approach for it.
And look at the offense Vega played in. 2 running backs. Like, they had Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. They pounded the football. And he was protecting a mobile quarterback in Drew Aller. Like, that guy, I'll tell you what, he did his job. I mean, with the offense he was in, which I think with, a 2 running back system You know, and an offense that likes to pound the football. He can pass protect. He's the best pass protecting guard. One of the probably the best pass protecting offensive lineman in the draft. So yeah, he proved it. I mean, not a single sack, All-American. Come on, man. Yeah, so we'll see. I want to see where these other guys went. So 18, Manuel McNeil Warren goes. So Monroe Freeling, Akeem Mesidor, right? Did he already? I don't think he went either yet. So Vikings get Manuel McNeil Warren at 18. 19, there you go. Monroe Freeling to the Carolina Panthers. So
That's
the
crazy
way,
that Monroe dropped to 19 too.
Well,
That's
this
a
is
steal.
why but you see all these mock drafts, like things fluctuate a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember Fano was going in the late teens. Now he's to Peter, he's here and, you know, higher. And then Monroe Freeling was a top 10 pick. Now he's back to 20 where he originally was. It's like, it's a lot of fugazi information you're seeing. Like, you know, you're seeing a lot of stuff come out that you just don't trust. You try not to trust too much of it, because when that draft starts, man, none of this stuff even matters. I mean, you try to get a feel of where guys are going, but you really don't know at the end of the day. You really don't know. 20, there you go.
Oh, dude, can we talk about the Cowboys? Caleb Downs and Akeem Mesidor. That would be one of the best drafts, I think, in the first round. That's a heck of a draft class, dude. That defense just got bolstered up.
Yeah, that's a crazy draft by them. I mean, that's ridiculous. 21, TJ Parker. There you go. Like another guy, second rounder. Like, he's a first round pick. Like, he's worth it. And they take TJ Parker, 22, Blake Miller. See, another one, second rounder. Now he's a first rounder, second rounder, first rounder. Now I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the first round.
Yeah. By the way, TJ Parker, in my mock today, I tried to do everything I could to trade up in the second round to add a tackle in the first and TJ Parker in the second. Just couldn't do it. TJ Parker is going to the late first now, like consistently.
Yep. And then you have 23, Denzel Boston, wide receiver. Smells like an A.J. Brown replacement.
Hey, by the way, dude, the whole Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. Diana Rossini has been reporting that A.J. Brown, that the Patriots have been in like massive talks with A.J. Brown. That has to be all true now, right?
Yes.
She's getting the info from
Big Mike
Vrabel straight from the source.
Yes.
I mean, come on, dude.
Yes, undoubtedly, yes. So it says here, Washington, Jed Fish and Howie Roseman, longtime college buddies. Did not know that.
A.J. Brown's future becomes all the more interesting after Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. I'm playing. That's crazy, dude.
24, KC Concepcion to the Browns. Kaden Proctor to the Bears. So there you go. 26, Caden McDonald to the Buffalo Bills. 27, Caleb Lomu to the 49ers. Max Ianachor to the Texans. There you go. At 29, Colton Hood to the Chiefs. And then at 30, the safety out of Oregon, Dylan. Thieneman?
Yep. Good draft from the Dolphins, first round.
Yep. And then at 31, Kalen Rutledge. I did not see this. Guard center, Georgia Tech.
What did he say about that?
It says he's viewed as a day one or day two prospect, talking to some teams. Damn.
That does feel like a Patriots pick. It really does.
Yeah. And then 32, Jadarian Price.
Wow.
Yeah. Price is the number 2 running back in this class. That's what Peter Trigger says.
You were big on Jadarian Price when I spoke to you
Yeah,
about him.
dude.
Coming out of the combine, you had a lot to say about him, and you were pumping him up a lot.
Yeah, because he's they didn't use him because Love is obviously an incredible player. But look at it. It says, you even see the stats, like 100 carries, 674 yards. Like
6 yards plus a carry.
Dude, it's like, yeah. And he's not the fastest guy, but he's just, makes guys miss. Like, he's just
Do you think he's worth a first round pick?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't see this one before. I haven't seen him in the first round, but you do get the 5th year option. So Running back, I can see how some teams late in the draft, in the first round, can be like, all right, 32, we get the 5th-year option, even if they like him in the second. We don't have to pay him for longer. I don't think I wouldn't take him if I was the Seahawks here, but depends. I mean, it depends what you think of the running back class. It's not great. It's not a great class. So, yeah, that's the first round, which I like it. Traeger kind of added some like his own little splash on it. This is like a unique one, honestly.
That's what he always does, man, and he always is right. It's one of the more incredible things. There's 2 things Peter Schrager's right on. The dude can pick Super Bowl matchups before the season, and he could put out a elite mock draft.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys on there. That's why I'm excited for the draft, man. We have it's going on 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks? 3 weeks, actually. I think on the dot, 3 weeks. It's like the 28th, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 weeks on the dot to the draft.
We gotta start figuring out what we're doing because we don't have like a place that we're doing it quite yet. So we need to figure that out to put out to the people. The last 2 years we've had unbelievable draft parties.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun, man. We'll have a place this year. But yeah, I mean, I'm fired up about it, man. The draft is when, I mean, it's like, we had opening day and then you get back and you're like, oh, the draft's only 3 weeks away. And things start heating up, dude.
Comes up quick.
Yeah. Which
really
today
does.
we have our mock drafts. It's mock draft Tuesday today. So we have our mock draft. This is 8.0, by the way. 10.0.
I feel like we're talking about Peter Schrager does too. We're doing 10.
Love of the game. And every week it's been different. It's been unique. There's been players that have been consistent, but also different perspectives, which are important. Like we usually do about 10 of these things, and our 10th one is usually the final, like,
this is what we think.
Yeah. Yep. So it'll be good. By the way, Iggy's Burns to Tom McShay and Mensch said Rutledge plays like an a-hole. Okay. There you go.
I'm so interested, by the way, Mensch. He's such an interesting guy, dude. Because he has his guys, and then his non-guys are like dudes that are like, wait, this guy's actually good. So I don't ever know. I've only watched him maybe a year and a half now, so I don't know his track record of hitting on offensive linemen. But like Klotz sent us something the other day about a player that I think me and you liked, where it was like, Mensch doesn't like him. And I was like, what's Mensch's track record? Like, I want to know that because all of a sudden, I never knew who he was until last year. I'm not saying
probably better than our track record.
Maybe I don't know. Not always.
I think his background is the draft. I don't know what he's done in the draft, but if you're Todd McShay's
scout
guy,
yeah, I guess Todd McShay's one of my favorites too. Like he might be my number 1 or 2.
He
does he though? Because every time Mitch goes to talk,
he does overtalk him a lot. Well, but he did say he isn't a big Blake Miller guy. That's actually the first person I heard say that. And honestly, like that's after he said that, more stuff was coming out how Blake Miller like getting beat a lot and stuff. Like, I don't know. I saw some bad things, bad PR about Blake Miller. So I was like, Mensch is watching the film that he's dialed in.
Who was it that Klotz was like he hates recently? And I was like, I kind of like
Monroe Freeling. He mentioned he didn't like. He says he's skeptical because he's only started and like he's like, he's not. He's one of those guys that are come out and be bad or something like that. I don't know what he said about Monroe Freeling.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, Klotz. Klotz probably has a couple takes he hasn't fired off yet before the draft, so we'll see what he thinks. I'm sure we'll talk to him. But
I've heard a couple of Klotz's takes already.
Yeah. Here, I'll let you fire away on your mock draft. So talk to me.
Want me to go first?
You had a. Honestly, you had a unique mock draft. Like you had some guys in there. This is new. I mean, for being 8.0, you mixed it up, man.
That's what I'm trying to every week. We've done 8 of them already, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm doing the same stuff every week, same players. I'm like, how can I go about this? And again, I think the biggest thing, it's like, can I put myself in Brad Holmes's mind? And I've said it a couple times now. He has 9 or 10 picks. There's just a 0% chance he uses all of them. So like today, I texted, I said, dude, I'm going to do a lot of trades here. And it's not a lot. I think 3 trades, which Brad has done 3 or 4 trades in drafts. It was just more so just really trying to find the movement and getting guys around to where I can get rid of draft picks. So I'm not drafting 10 dudes and I can end up with 6 or 7 guys.
Let's get to it. Talk to me here, Boone, with your mock draft.
Hey, the guy that everybody in the city of Detroit loves, the guy that I said earlier, hey, get ready to learn, Kaden Proctor. I did not take him at 17. So for my mock draft 8.0, I traded back. I made a couple trades in this draft. I don't have the exact trades that I made because there was a few of them, so I didn't write them all down. I did trade back. I added, I believe, Jeff, from going from 17 to 27, you move back 10 picks. I added, I believe, a second or a third round pick. And then I also, so people know, I did add a third round pick for next year moving back. So a second and a third, essentially, because I moved back 10 spots. I moved back
Future
significantly.
pick. I like the future pick.
So I got a third round pick. I know we're short on thirds. I made sure I can't remember who I traded with. Hey, I need a third. Like we're low on thirds next year. Now the Lions from this draft, we have 2 thirds next year, a first, a second, and 2 thirds. 4 picks in the top 3 rounds. You're welcome, Detroit. Kaden Proctor, we've already talked about him. I'm not going to go deep on Kaden Proctor, but again, a guy that can plug and play. He's going to be able to play in the NFL instantly. Whether you trust him at right tackle, he has played and started 3 years at left tackle at Alabama. But again, you can move him over, and if you do want to throw him at a left guard, he's someone that you're able to take and throw at left guard as well. At number 50, by the way, AG's Burner said, Boone, did you take Jacob Rodriguez over Gabe Jacobs, Malachi Lawrence, Anthony Hill Jr.? Actually, yes. Not over Malachi Lawrence, but over Anthony Hill Jr. was still available. Gabe Jacobs, I don't believe, was available. So just Anthony Hill Jr., which Anthony Hill Jr. was available in my 3rd pick. So I don't know what's going on with him. But I do love the Jacob Rodriguez, Jeff. If he's available at 50, I don't think it will happen. But if he is, again, this is a guy that can go late first, early second. If he somehow falls to you, he's a guy, he's a little undersized, but he can come in and play instantly for the Lions and kind of take over that Alex Anzalone role. I don't even know what the number was. You might know it off the top of your head, Jeff. This guy forces 1 billion turnovers. And if you're talking about one, he'll stop the run. He'll step in there. I know undersized, but he's not afraid to mix it up. But number 2, like, he's going to get turnovers for your offense or for your defense. And that's something I think this team needs to get back to valuing, which they haven't. It feels like when there's no Kirby Joseph on the field, there's no one getting turnovers. So I think you need to find another player with Kirby that can go out there, punch the ball out. You remember like the start of last year and even the year before, how many times we were getting just punch outs, Jeff?
Yeah,
and then but then all of a sudden there was just, I felt like last year you just weren't getting any. I don't know what it was. Hey, bring a guy that has that mindset. And Jacob Rodriguez, you want to scroll down for me, at least 1 or 2?
Yep.
Traded up again. Got number 58 for trading back. So I got Keontae Scott. This is a Lukas Klotz guy. I actually took him last week in our mock draft. This is essentially Keontae Scott's going to play nickel for you. Like, we're talking about replacing Amik Robertson. I know you got guys in there who are going to be able to play that position. Roger McCreary, different guys that can mix it up there. But Keontae Scott's going to end up being a heck of a player. Who is the player, Jeff, for the Rams right now that Klotz gave to us last year? And we also had Mo on, and he brought him up. Who was that out of Miami?
Cameron Kitchens.
Cam Kitchens. I'm not missing out on another Cam Kitchens. If Klotz tells me a Miami secondary player to take in the 2nd, 3rd round, I'm doing it going forward. Give me Keontae Scott and go watch his film. If you haven't, the guy plays angry. I've talked about defensively. I want guys who want to kill people. Not literally, but literally. But not literally. I want guys who are going to kill people. Keontae Scott will take heads off. He'll kill people. He'll ball hawk. Everything you need in a secondary player, especially a nickel, he's got that. 78. I know people are like, hey, Booner, where's the edge? Jeff, I'm just going to ask you to repeat what I've said before, especially last week. What did I say about the Detroit Lions in the edge room? Do you remember?
They don't prioritize it.
They don't prioritize the edge room. They don't prioritize edge 2. They have Hutch. After that, they don't care. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying people can take it negatively. It's a fact. They prioritize linebackers, D tackles. Their secondary, they don't prioritize edge too. So I don't know if they're going to do it in the first two or three picks. But at number 78, I did trade back up. Romello Height was available. I remember watching this Texas. I've talked to you very, very much about these Texas Tech players and this defense of Texas Tech. And I've told you a lot. I said, if you draft a player on this Texas Tech defense, you're going to be happy no matter what. And Romello Height last year, I think he had 9 sacks. He just comes off the edge. Like, that's all he did last year across from him and David Bailey. That's all he did. He did, if you go look up his snap count, he's just all outside edge. I think he has like 17 snaps that are outside the outside edge. That's it. He's just a pure, like, get me off the ball and let's go after a quarterback guy. And he will get after a quarterback. And I think that's in this draft class. If you're looking for a guy for that and you're looking for some value, I think a Romello Height at 78 is good. Give me a scroll, Jeff, please, and thank you. 118, give me an outside corner. Malik Muhammad out of Texas. Long, good outside corner. I did have his PFF stats up here for a second, and I just lost him. Malik Muhammad, give me a second, Jeff.
We saw him at the combine, by the way.
We did.
We sat right next to his family.
And he walked right by us, actually. I just wanted to pull up. Oh, I don't have it up here anymore. I'll just say this. I'll talk Malik Muhammad a different day because I had something I wanted to share. I can't find the stat now. But at the end of the day, this is my thought process with Malik Muhammad. I've been taking different safeties or corners that can play nickel, that can move around a little bit. Your point earlier today, Jeff, I think it was one of the best points that we've talked about in the draft or just this offseason. Like, this Lions team at some point needs to prioritize outside corner. Like, they need to get some guys out there that can play. They need to go out in this draft class and at least get one guy that's played outside corner his whole career and is just come in and try and be a dog and compete. Malik Muhammad at 118, he was BPA at that position, right? Like, he was at the top of the board. I was like, I want a corner, BPA. 128, Bo Stevens, left guard, I believe, as well. This is one of those things where, hey, if you don't get Vega at 17, I think I'm starting to change my tune a little bit. I know people say center, Jeff. I know how big I have been on Pat Coogan. I think there's a world they actually don't get a center in this draft class. You just signed Caden Mays to a 3-year deal. They obviously prioritize Caden Mays, and I think it's technically like a 2-year with the guarantees, but it's essentially a little bit of a longer term. I think this year, like, hey, yeah, you can get a center if you want to develop, but you do need guard play, right? And you need depth at the guard position. Bo Stevens is a multi-year starter out of Iowa. We know what these Iowa offensive linemen are like. I'm a Bo Stevens fan. We saw him at the combine as well. And then the last one, Katron Allen. I know the Nick Singleton thing. It's like, hey, who's better, Nick Singleton, Katron? Katron's had 3 straight years over 1,000 rushing yards, Jeff. I think at some point in this draft class, they're going to have to get a running back, or they're going to get a running back, and they're looking for a guy to, I'm not going to say replace DMont, because I've talked about how you don't need to replace him, but you sign Isaiah Pacheco on a 1-year deal. You don't know what Sione Vaki is. I think they're going to have to get a running back in this draft class to just come in and compete. So if you don't have Sione or Isaiah Pacheco next year, hey, Katron Allen's your number 2.
Yeah, Katron, we'll talk more about him because I might have drafted him as well, to be honest. So I love the pick. I really do. I think you have 4 picks in the top 78. That's like you got dudes, dude. I mean, you got 4 guys in the top 78, and 2 of them are 8 picks apart. So yeah, you got some guys here. Romello's interesting. Romello's like kind of he's a way better prospect, but he's like going to play like the AQM James Houston role where he's just a pure pass rusher. So
which that's what you need right now, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
DJ Wanham could probably take on the run defending responsibilities. So, I understand there. Proctor at 17 and Proctor at 27, it's different. So, you might not love the Kaden Proctor pick, but you did get him 10 picks back, which is pretty good. So, yeah, good job here. You were wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, it took me a while to do this one today. I know it's a little weird. By the way, too, I know this is just so off topic. Scuba had a bad start today, like 4 earned runs, and then the Red Wings are down 5-2. It looks like so. Things just aren't good right now in Detroit. Just being quite frank. Shout out Steven. He said A- B+. Yeah, I think there's like the one key to this draft I think we keep talking about is like you need starters. You're at that point. Like in Brad, it's kind of Brad's fault that he's left a couple holes to where you do need to draft some starters in this draft class. I would look at this draft class and be like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 starters, which if you're getting 3 to 4 starters in this class, I'm ecstatic.
By the way, I'm so done with the Red Wings, man.
They're dead. It's
about to be on a 3-game losing streak. I mean,
they're completely dead.
Out of the playoffs right now. I'm so sick of them.
I think I told you yesterday off camera. I'm more so just or maybe it was Gentry. I was just disappointed because I really wanted Steve Yzerman to work out in Detroit, like as a GM. And with the collapse right now, I just don't see a world he makes it out of this because the roster and nothing's good. Oh, the Red Wings are up. They're up. They're up. Someone said Senators 5-2. Oh, they're not playing the Senators. Okay, I see. They're in a race with the Senators. Wings are up, Jeff. Take that back. Take back what you said.
The Wings are winning?
Take back what you said.
Oh, I'll take it back if they make the playoffs. Oh, they're up 3-2. Yeah, they're playing Columbus.
Yeah, but I think the Senators are the team I see with their mistake.
And I think Columbus just scored. It's 3-3.
I see the disconnect here. Sorry, we're on a show. Disconnect. They're fighting with the Senators for a playoff spot. Senators are up as well.
Stupid, man.
Oh, it's tied now. All of a sudden, we're talking about
they
tied.
They just scored a goal. Klotz chimes in. God, I wish it wasn't Proctor so I can love this draft.
Klotz is another one of those guys that's just like black cloud over Proctor. Oh, people hate him. I hate him too. I'm gonna follow the trends.
Here's my draft. Let's get into it. So,
they tied it with 10 seconds left. Are the Wings this bad? You just get out of it with the win, dude. They get 2 points.
It's on brand.
Jesus,
I mean,
dude.
they're almost 500 at home, I believe. They have the same record. I actually know Victor like 20-15 or something at home, with like couple overtime losses, but they're about the same record on the road. How do you have almost the same record as you do at home as you do on the road?
I don't know, but
Hockey Town.
What was we need to? I think, and we could start it here. I want it on record here first. We're having a Steve Yzerman march, like how we had the Millen, or they had the Millen march, or whatever. You have to do it. So someone's got to step up for Hockey Town. Someone has to.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's insane.
It's embarrassing.
So here's my draft. This is what I did. Okay, so I had 17. Spencer Fano in this situation fell. So I pulled the trigger. Now, how realistic is it going to happen? I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that could happen here. I don't see him falling to 17. I mean, Peter Schrager had him going top 10. I've seen others where he's just outside. So in this scenario, I'm pulling the trigger on Spencer Fano. You're getting the best, in my opinion, offensive tackle in the entire draft. So it's a home run pick for them. At 50, I get my guy, Danny Dennis Sutton. I don't really have to go too much into him. I've harped on him a ton. Last year, 45 total pressures, 6 sacks. I think it was 8 sacks, 26 hurries, 13 hits. Honestly, what I love about him is his run defense. That's what I love about him too. He can get turnovers, obviously, but a couple forced fumbles. He can get you an interception, even at his size. But he's a very good run defender. And on top of that, he's a good pass rusher. Like, he's going to be one of those second-round picks where you look back and you go, how the hell did that guy go in the first or the second round? I mean, he's a good all-around player. Tested really well, very athletic, which I think Brad will love. So, yeah, I decided to go with Danny Dennis Sutton at 50. So I got tackle, defensive end. Didn't force it, but that's just how it lined up. And then we'll go the next 2 picks here. So I actually went at almost the same pick. You picked at 158. I picked at 157. I took Katron Allen. So Bud Clark at 92. So I got Bud Clark. I got Bud Clark at 92. And at 157, I got Katron Allen. So Bud Clark, we know what he is. We've talked a lot about it on the show. 15 interceptions at TCU. He's a playmaker. This defense needs more playmakers. It's not a question. So if you're bringing in a guy like Bud Clark who can play all over in your secondary and he can force turnovers, it's a home run pick in my opinion. I think he's probably going to go probably around 90 to 100. So I traded up to get him. That's what I used 118, 128 to go do. I traded up to get Bud Clark at 92. And I didn't pick for another, 60 picks, but I took Katron Allen. And this is what I like about Katron Allen, by the way. You mentioned the production, 1,000 yards. What I like about him is he is the perfect complement to replace, like you said, David Montgomery. He played in a system where he shared carries. He's a big physical back, and he's consistent. Like Nick Singleton got hurt. They needed something out of the run game. Katron Allen steps in and gets 1,300 yards this past season. And at 157, I think it's really good value. I love Nick Singleton. The Lions met with him, but at 157, you're not getting Nick Singleton, but you can get Katron Allen. In a not a great running back class, like I'm pulling this trigger, dude. For all the people that are, maybe worried about Isaiah Pacheco, here you go. You got Katron Allen that can step in and fill in for Isaiah Pacheco if he beats him out. I think he's a very good compliment to Jahmyr Gibbs here. So I went with him. Now, my last three picks, Pat Coogan. Here's one thing I found out about Pat Coogan, which piqued my interest. All right. Pat Coogan, the last 2 years, played a bunch of snaps at center, started every game at center, played every snap at center. 3 years ago, he played every snap that season at left guard. So I think it's intriguing to think that Pat Coogan in the NFL could be your center, but also maybe even compete for left guard. He's got the pedigree, he's got the experience, and I know he's probably going to fall because of, different reasons, and he doesn't pop off the charts as a prospect, but I'll tell you what, he'll be a center potentially for the future, but at the very least, he can come and compete at left guard for you as a draft pick. I mean, at 181. So I think Pat Coogan's got some versatility there. Andre Fuller, one of my favorite sleepers in this draft class. I keep harping on him. Andre Fuller out of Toledo last year, when targeted, 55.6 passer rating. Okay, so he's a very, very good cover corner, 6'2", 200 pounds. But guess what? He's more than a cover corner. Out of almost 900 cornerbacks, he ranked 20 in his run defense. So he's a willing run defender who can cover. So that's what I like about Andre Fuller. We talked about outside corner this earlier in the show. Bang, there you go. Andre Fuller at 213, special teamer. And then at 222, Lake McCree out of USC, the tight end. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's some sleeper either, but he's good tight end depth, special teamer, and maybe has the potential. I like his yards per reception at USC. Every play, every pass he caught went for 10 plus yards. So this is my draft. I know people are already talking about linebacker. I didn't draft a linebacker, which is true. I didn't take a linebacker in this draft. It just didn't line up that way. So if you want to go at me for not taking a linebacker, fine. It just didn't. Again, like I looked at 213, 222 for linebackers. I tried to go best player available, and that's the way it fell. So no linebacker, but I tried to do best player available and also factor in some needs, of course. So this is my my draft. If you walk away from this one, you're getting 4 or 5 guys that have futures in the NFL, legit futures. So this might be my favorite one, to be honest.
You're all in on this Andre Fuller guy. I'll tell you that. You've had him for like 3 straight weeks.
Don't tell Klotz, but
no, Klotz is listening right now.
Klotz, if you're listening, the 419 has Andre Fuller, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with Andre Fuller.
You've been all over Andre Fuller.
Yeah, I watched. I got into him. Pause. No, I take that back. I started watching Andre Fuller weeks ago because I stumbled upon him and I started trying to learn more about him because I'm trying to find out some more sleeper guys. And Andre Fuller, I don't know how this guy's just falling to like the 200s. I don't really know. I don't.
Wasn't
know.
he at the combine? I'm pretty
He
sure.
was. Yeah, and he had pretty good day at the combine, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't think he goes 200. I'll tell you that. I think he goes probably somewhere in the hundreds. But in this case, he's available at 213. I'll take him. So, yeah, and Denny Dennis Sutton is someone I really like too. So, been on.
Yeah, I don't hate this draft. If this draft happened, I would be. Dennis Sutton's a good edge rusher. I think that'd be good. I like Spencer Fano. The thing with him, like I've said it before with Spencer Fano.
I just don't know where he's going. I don't know where he's going.
No, it's such an up in the air thing. I've seen him all the way down to 20. I've seen him at the top 5, top 10. But the problem or not a problem. The positive thing with Spencer Fano is we've talked about this before. He's so versatile. He's gonna be able to he can play any position, it feels like, on the O-line.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, if you're gonna need a left guard, I feel like he could do that. If you need a right tackle, left tackle, I feel like this guy, I know he's only played one side, but he can move a little bit.
Yeah, you can.
And he's talked about that, like he's willing to do so.
By the way, John Unitas says Tigers' bats have been booty cheeks.
Shout out John Unitas.
Did you see Pro Football Talk? Patriots coach Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini of The Athletic have provided statements regarding photos of them together.
Can we see the statements? By the way, too, I just saw like Joe Rogan there. I watched like a 10-minute clip of him talking about the moon landing today. I've been on that. You told me he said that he doesn't believe it. I had to go watch and just see. He had like someone on talk about it. It's just so interesting. Like, I don't know. They released pictures today of them out there, like the new moon pictures, which those are incredible. But I just can't get over the fact. Me and Jeff are both on the side. We've agreed. Moon landing, not real.
It's not real. By the way, we'll start with some mailbag questions. We'll pull up the article. Mailbag, Xavier, how much of that bag of popcorn did you boys get through?
I have such bad news, by the way, on the popcorn. Bad news. Like real bad news. I went to go eat some of the popcorn on my drive home from work today. I was like, oh, dude, the popcorn was sitting there. I was like, come on, man. Like, let's get into this a little bit. And I went to go open it up. And the whole bag, first of all, the outside of the bag is sticky because of the champagne. It was in the video, the champagne from the game last night. And then I opened the bag up. I'm like, okay, I can get let's just open it.
Oh, no.
The whole inside is covered in champagne. It didn't dry or nothing. It's just all wet of just champagne. And I was like, I can't eat this popcorn. It's garbage. It's done. Popcorn's done.
So you know what? Things happen for the championship. It just happens, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Dio says, mailbag, have the Lions done a formal interview with Fano? I've seen them do it with Proctor, Yanachor, Farmer, Enrique Cruz Jr., and Slaughter.
That's a good question.
I'll tell you right now, I don't think so. I don't think so. I haven't seen anything with him meeting with the Lions, but doesn't really mean they won't draft him. So, yeah, no. Patty grabs mailbag. Who wins championships first? Pistons or MSU basketball?
Pistons, dude. Michigan State. What are we talking about? Pistons or MSU's not winning a national championship in basketball. I don't know what world we're living in. Pistons.
Rich says, what moon landing? They aren't landing on the moon. No, we're not talking about. They're flying around the moon right now. We're talking about back in the day.
For a second, I thought Rich called us both fly boys. For a second, like making fun of. No, this one is real. They're actually flying around the moon. I believe.
Yeah, this is completely real.
And if they land on the moon in the next year, which I think they're planning on it in 2028, I was reading, that I think is real. I do think they can go to the moon now. I think you have the technology and everything you need. In what was it, Jeff? 62? There's 0% chance they knew how to, like, was there even color TV at the time?
Yeah,
like, you didn't even have color TV. There was no internet. And you're telling me that they knew how to land on the moon and they didn't even have internet? Maybe they hadn't. No, they didn't have internet yet. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, 1960.
There's no way. And then they haven't been able to go back since. They're like, oh, we haven't figured it out since. Come on, dude. There's no way, dude. There's no chance.
Yeah.
And the video of them landing on the moon, like, they're like, I don't know. It just looks so fake, dude. 1969, someone said. That was 67. I think Rich Baldwin was just. I'm not a flat earther though either, but it's just a fact.
No,
There's no way they went to the moon.
No.
I really want to learn some more science.
Yeah, I
didn't pay attention in science class.
no flat Earth. Yeah, we're definitely not. By the way, here's the statements from Vrabel and Diana Rossini. So, Vrabel told the New York Post, "These photos show a completely innocent interaction. Any suggestion otherwise is laughable. This doesn't deserve any further response." And then Rossini said, "These photos don't represent the group of 6 people who are hanging out during the day. Like most journalists in the NFL, reporters interact with sources away from stadiums and other venues."
These photos, wait, go back up real quick. It says, what did it say? These photos are misleading and lack essential context.
Executive director of The Athletic. These were public interactions in front of many people. Diana is a premier journalist covering the NFL, and we're proud to have her at The Athletic.
Okay, so it's not true then. I'm just the only picture that really gets to me is that the holding hands picture. Like, I don't know. I'm not walking up to like one of my friends and being like double hand hold.
Well, DL said what happened with this. So apparently, Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini were taking photos of like by the pool, like hanging out, and then they were like hugging, and it's just like it's not anything concrete, but I don't know. It's the off season. This is what we do. Talk about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini laying out, getting a tan next to each other. It's like, I don't know.
I'll tell you, yeah,
I wouldn't look too much into it, but
at the moment when it was like breaking, I thought it was real, and I was like, oh my Lord, not my guy Mike Vrabel, dude.
I saw Dave Portnoy's getting added, saying why on Barstool covering it.
Well, did you see? So you remember the Riggs video?
Yeah.
With Tiger, he was like, we're standing on the wall or whatever. Like, he's like, we're like, I'm
Dave
on the
with
wall.
Mike Vrabel?
Dave literally just word for word did the same thing video with Mike Vrabel. I saw, which is that the video is like just an all time. Also, I just want to throw out there real quick. Caleb texted me. Listen, Caleb, I know you're listening. If you're gonna text me picks, I at least want one of them to hit unprompted. Just like I didn't text him and say, "Hey, can I get a baseball pick?" Nothing. Just out of nowhere. These two guys, one of these guys are gonna hit a home run tonight. What would you do if I text you that, Jeff?
If you told me that one of these guys are going to hit a home run,
you would put the bet on, right?
You're taking it, yeah.
Yeah, and I did it. And you would expect, if I'm telling you a guy's going to hit a home run, at least if I'm giving you 2 guys, you would expect one of them to hit a home run, right? Like, I must have some inside info.
Yeah.
0 for 2. It's 0 for 2. I called him too.
Did you talk about what happened on the show with your parlay on Friday?
No. Oh, no, I didn't. I mean, Caleb's on a streak. I had a parlay for the Tigers game opening day. Everything was perfect. Tigers money line, Kevin McGonigal hit, Riley Green hit, and someone else. I can't remember who it was. It was like 3 hits. It was like plus 350, plus 400. Something easy, right? Caleb comes up to me, probably intoxicated, a little boozed up, looks at me dead in the eyes and goes, switch Kevin McGonigal, put him at 2 RBIs, hits, and runs. He's like, it's automatic. Like, everything hits. Kevin McGonigal, only 1 hit, not 2, nothing. This guy, I don't know what's going through this guy's mind, dude. I just got to start taking my own bets. I have to trust myself.
I would understand as a friend if someone comes up to you, you're one of your buddies, and says like says something confident. You're like, I gotta take it. Like, if he's saying it this confident, like,
dude, when he did that to me on Friday with the Kevin McGonigal thing, and then like the text I got today, Cody Bellinger and also Isaac Paredes are hitting home runs tonight. That's confident, dude. That's like, and I texted back and said, "Are you sure?" And then I called him on my car ride home. I called him, and all I said was, "Break it down for me." And he said, "Cody Bellinger, it's a vibe."
Vibe. Never trust the vibes.
No.
By the way, the Red Wings just lost. So
of course. At least they got a point, I guess, but what are we going to do, man?
And Ottawa extends the lead to 3 points with a regulation win over Tampa. So, I mean, they have like a 10% chance of making the playoffs, bro. Like, it's over. Like, it's over. And Mike doesn't want to talk about it. Blitzing line, mailbag, beat-ups, or Wingstop? Give me Wingstop. Give me Wingstop. I like beat-up as an entire establishment.
Yeah,
very good
Wingstop's wings. I like boneless wings. Like when I go to places like that, I like bone-in wings. I think if you get bone-in, it has to be at somewhere like that's like known for it. I don't think these guys are. So I think I just go boneless Wingstop, some lemon pepper, or maybe some type of like Cajun one.
Wingstop fries, man. Yeah.
No, Wingstop fries are the worst. I've never had a good Wingstop fries.
They're not like a high quality, but they're good.
No.
You ever have like Five Guys fries?
Jeff, they're like the soggiest fries of all time.
Yeah, but that's what makes them
No,
good.
it's not. I like crunchy fries. I want to like bite on my
You
fry
don't even like
and get a
fries.
crunch. The only fries I like are the crunch. Like
So your opinion?
I like thin, crunchy fries. Like McDonald's fries, fire. Crunchy fries.
It's the only fry you like.
I will take like a fry that like if it's like a one of those rigid fries or whatever. Like if they're overcooked, well done, I'll take those. Beat ups fries, fire because they're crunchy.
It's like someone who doesn't like it's like someone who doesn't like beer weighing on beer.
Bro, who wants soggy fries?
I like an IPA. And he's like,
who wants soggy fries? You're like Meek Mill at the pool. Like you're sitting there with Meek Mill at the pool with your like the fries in your lap, like all soggy. Like, dude, I don't want that. I want a crunch in my fries.
Yeah, you ever have Five Guys fries? You ever have them before?
Great. No, actually, no. They're a lot of potatoes. Not good.
But they're like kind of mashed. But
I thought you were talking about Checkers for a second.
Yeah, that's another one. That's you know what? Culver's fries. You ever have those? The crinkle fries.
Those are good because they're crinkle and they're overcooked. Yeah. Let me give you an inside scoop. Really good inside scoop. If you like crinkle fries, the best crinkle fries in the market, Sonic. Sonic does the best. They have some sort of seasoning they put on it, and they're all small and they're well done. Always well done. They're the best crinkle fries you'll have in your life. I'll go to Sonic just sometimes, like if I'm like once a year, I'm like I gotta go to Sonic. Gotta get the fries.
I'm not gonna lie.
Steak fries are bottom tier, by the way, too. Jeffrey just put that in. They're the worst.
Yeah, I would. If you're doing power ranking of fries, steak fries at the bottom.
I need like 4 glasses of like water to eat steak fries.
Yeah,
they're so dry.
By the way, my fellow Jeff, I think I would have to disagree with you on that. You know what I'd put up
Shout
there?
Out Jeff too, by the way.
Waffle fries, dude.
If some good waffle fries are good.
Waffle
like the Chick-fil-A fries, those are fire.
There's dude. Something about a good waffle fry. It's just,
I mean, by the way, is it DO, right? Dana, shout out DO. Boone is picky. I'm actually not picky. It's just fries are, and the boys know this.
Not
fries
a big fry guy. Not a big fry.
Yeah, because the one thing I don't like dry food. Like if you like give me a fry, like a thing of fries, and they're just dry fries, like and nothing's like ketchup's not saving them. Nothing. It's just like, why am I eating this? These can't be good to anyone. I think people lie and say they like fries when, like, you have to have a good fry. Steak and Shake. We went to Steak and Shake in Indy multiple times, and their fries, their shoestring fries, some of the best I've ever had.
Shoestring.
And you know that because I ordered them twice, and I want the bigger fry. Because I'm not picky at all. I don't think there's anything where we went on. I'm like, I'm not going to eat this. I'll try everything. Even when we went to the sushi place, you guys made me do the sake bomb. And I was like, I was like, I can't do this. Boiling vodka.
By the way, someone just said, did you see the viral clip of the Rays game just now that's going viral? Did you see that? It's a dude trying to catch a foul ball, and he's a big dude, and he misses it, falls over, and his ass is out.
Can we play it? Or will we get flagged? I don't know if we'll get flagged for copyright. It might be the...
I don't know. It's his ad. I mean,
out.
I'm not gonna do our audience like that.
It's you know what? Klotz is right. I did not try the sashimi, but to be fair, sometimes you got to get over your fears. I just wasn't ready to get over that fear.
It's fair.
I don't know what that was. That looked really weird to me. I don't know. I'm not picky
I'm
though.
with you.
But
I'm with
I
you.
just-
Like I like my steak medium. I will eat it medium well, but medium. Medium rare to rare. I'll eat medium rare, but rare, I'm not eating rare steak, man.
to be honest, see, I'm not even that picky to where like just give me the steak. Cook it how you want. How does the chef how does the chef make it the best? That's how I want it.
My one thing is I don't
Chef's
like well
choice.
done and I don't want rare.
Rare I
So-
won't do. I don't want to I'm cool on
I don't want it
blood
like
sucking.
medium
not sucking
steak is
blood.
the only right answer.
Yeah.
You'll like, but medium rare, fine. Medium well, fine. Rare, you're a sicko. All right, we'll get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow
I
with the
want to watch
DOC.
this video.
But you go look it up. Look up Ray's game after the thing in Twitter. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com. Hit the like button on the stream.
Love you guys.
Till tomorrow at 8.
See ya.
We'll catch you.